folks, Chuck here, Hillbilly Acre Homestead. Welcome back to the rabbitry. We are in the red building. I've never mentioned it before. We call it the red building because, well, it's red. And we've got a couple of litters out here that I wanted to show you. Just for the record, we tried to shoot some of this stuff that I'm going to be mentioning today about a week ago. The wind was blowing so stinking hard that I trashed every bit. There was like 4 videos. So, yes, we have actually finally tried to shoot you guys some video, but well, the weather didn't cooperate. Right now, we're inside the red building, so hopefully we're not having a lot of wind noise here. But this is Delilah, and I'll just show you this one real quick. Delilah had a litter of 7. This is a broken chocolate. This is a little doe. We weaned the other 6. Well, this one's weaned too, pretty much, because they're about 9 weeks old. But Delilah was still milking. Just to let you guys know, okay, she had a litter of 7. We weaned 5. About a week and a half, 2 weeks later, we weaned number 6. And just any day, this one right here can be weaned. Weaned meaning taken away from mama. She's already separate. They're not nursing off of her. They're eating from the feeder. But what we do here, now, you can do what you want, okay? I've always got people arguing with me. I don't make these videos to tell anybody what to do. I make these videos to tell people what I do. This is what works for us. We wean the babies. We start weaning them at somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 weeks old. Here in Arkansas, if an animal is to be sold, it has to be 8 weeks of age. Yes, I know it would be difficult for them to enforce that, but it's still a good idea because you need your animals, you need your rabbits to be a certain age anyway, so that you can guarantee as best you can their health when they leave. Point being, a lot of times when you separate your babies, like I said, in this case she had 7, we took 5. A week or so later we took another one, and now we're fixing to take the last one. Now, just a few days ago, Delilah was bred, okay? And she was bred to Sky Blue, and hopefully she is going to, or is working on a new litter now. So we like to give her that gestation period as a rest time, so she doesn't have to put up with any babies. So, but the reason that we wean them that way is because at 6 weeks old, these does are still pretty heavily milking. And if you just take all those babies off of her and she's still milking, that milk has nowhere to go. It fills their mammary glands. Not only is it very painful for the rabbit, but it can, for lack of a better term, it can sour and eventually cause mastitis. Mastitis can, and sometimes does, make the infected tit useless in future litters because it'll make it where it doesn't produce milk anymore. And it is serious. And it's like any other infection, an animal can die from it if it was severe enough. We don't want that, and we don't want to have to pump our rabbits full of antibiotics. We want to prevent things like that rather than have to treat and cure things like that. Right, baby? Yeah, right, baby. So we got the one. Now, whether you breed back at 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, or 8 weeks, the doe over the 2 weeks, if she hasn't already, about a 2-week time period after she breeds, she's going to begin to dry up, regardless of how old her babies are. Okay? And for that approximately 2-week time period after they're bred back, I like for them to have at least one baby with them to help keep that nursed out, because they will continue to try to nurse. Even if she doesn't have anything for them, they'll continue to try to nurse. Anything that she does produce over that week or 2-week period or whatever it is, they'll go ahead and keep that nursed out, and you don't have any problems with mastitis. Okay? That's the way we do it. Even with the New Zealands. We got a litter of 8, we'll do 4, 5, 6, leave a couple. Usually the smallest. You leave the smallest, they'll get all that milk to themselves for a few days. Now, when you take part of the litter off of mama, and you've only got 2 babies nursing from her, she's going to start to slack on her milk production right away, which means that she can put on a little more weight. If she's still down in weight a little bit, she can put on a little more weight because she's not converting as much of her feed into milk for her babies. So she can gain some weight for herself. Again, not telling anybody they have to do it this way. I start weaning at around 6 weeks. And by the time they are legal for sale, if they are going to be leaving here, I have had them separated from their mama for a period of 2 weeks. I make sure that they're eating good, they're drinking good, and most importantly, we have a lot of babies sometimes when they get separated. They go through a transition period where they have upset stomach. They'll have a little diarrhea or whatever you choose to call it. You know, they just poop all over the place. We don't want to send that home with somebody, okay? We know pretty well what to do with it. But if something happened in that baby, something happened and that was severe enough that something happens to that baby, you know, it dies. I don't want to send that home with somebody. That could be some little 7-year-old pet. And you send a rabbit home with them and it dies in a few days. No, I want to make sure it's healthy. If I send a rabbit home with somebody, especially if it's going to be it doesn't matter if it's going to be a pet or not. If I send a rabbit home with somebody, I want that rabbit to have a nice, long, and productive life, whether it's just going to be a pet and give tons and tons of love, or whether it's going to be a breeder and produce tons and tons of beautiful babies.
Or show.
Or if it's going to be shown, still yet we want it to live long and be productive. As the Vulcans say, what do the Vulcans say, Allie? Live long and prosper. No, we don't watch Star Trek at all around here. Anyway, that's what we do with the baby. I didn't intend to talk about weaning babies, but wean them all but a couple. And then over the period of a couple of weeks, kind of wean them all but a couple. If mama's ready, go ahead and breed her back. Then over the next week or week and a half, pull the other 2 off because she should be completely drying up. And then you don't have to worry about any mastitis type infection. And she's going to immediately start to put on weight if she needs to. Now, if she doesn't need to put on weight, she won't necessarily, you know. I figured out, a lot of people have told me that these mini Rex will overeat. And what I'm finding out is it doesn't matter how much you feed them. If they are of the right genetics to stay small in the right weight range, you can put them on full feed and they're still not going to go over 4.5 pounds. Now, yeah, I've had some mini Rex here that hit 6 pounds. Excellent brood dose. But they had to be bred with a small buck to counteract the fact that they were too big. I had to breed them with a super small buck to keep from having babies that were too big. So, if your babies are getting over what is the maximum allowable weight for the mini Rex breed according to ARBA standards, you need to cull for size, and you need to start keeping smaller babies. Work your way down, find you a buck, a small buck. If you can find one that's 3 pounds, that'd be great. We got Jet. He's a small buck. We don't like to breed him with everybody, but he's there. Elvis is a small buck. Blue is right on the line. He's right where he's supposed to be. He's right at 4 pounds. Sky Blue. I keep forgetting we trashed that video. You guys haven't met Sky Blue. So hopefully in the next video or 2 you might get to meet Sky Blue. Okay? And we got another young lady that we... Now, back to our regularly scheduled video. We were going to show you babies. I showed you that baby. It's back there hiding behind that. That's a bigger baby. This is Jada. Hey Jada, baby. Just shut up. You've been talking for 10 minutes and ain't said nothing yet. Allie, can you help me out here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Jada's latest litter. How many does she have, Allie? Remember how many's in here?
5.
All the rest of them are black and they're kind of camouflaged down in here because it's dark. Yep. We got 1 chocolate.
Look how dark it is. It's like Elvis.
Who's your baby daddy? Huh?
Elvis.
How can we tell?
The little otter.
There's a little Elvis there. So we got a little chocolate, a little black otter, and we've got 3 beautiful little blacks. Now we're going to see how these turn out. If these things turn out anywhere close to what I think should come from a combination between Elvis and Jada, we might just do something we haven't done in a while and show some blacks. These guys, if they're any good, they might go on the show table this fall.
Oh.
By the way, folks, if any of you are wondering, this is tentative. But we are going to be, what is it, about 3 weeks?
Yeah.
May the 20th, we're going to be in Carthage, Missouri. Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. For a rabbit show there. Looking forward to that. If you're going to be there, we'd love to shake your hand, hug your neck, say hi, whatever. But we definitely want to meet you guys, and we'd like to see you there. We've got some. I think Becca was talking about maybe putting our fall show schedule up for too long on the website.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Hillbilly Homesteading.
Weebly.com. Yeah.
I haven't updated that site in a long time. That's why I don't give that web address a lot. I've done more updating, although not in the last 2 or 3 months. I haven't really done anything. I've been just completely lazy. But we update anything. You'll know more. Other than watching the videos, you'll know a lot more about the day-to-day going on here at Crow's Nest Rabbitry and Hillbilly Half Acre Homestead if you like our Facebook page. That is where we. Some days I don't post for a week. Other days I might post 7 times in one day about different things. But I try to keep everybody caught up. Now these are Jada's alley kitten. How old are Jada's babies? You don't know? About a week?
Mm-hmm.
Less than a week?
I would say
Less than a
about
week.
because I would say about.
Something like that. They should be, I'm saying 3 or 4 days they might be getting their eyes open. We haven't done as well with the mini Rex because of, I don't know. This one thing is this winter, and we have lost litters that we don't normally lose. But I think Fiona, we've decided to cut her from the program. Somebody is either going to want her or something else has to happen. I don't know. We have to have, and we're really seriously considering Cherry because we're not really wanting to breed the red-eyed whites anyway. But genetically, she's a broken. So, haven't really decided what we're going to do with Cherry. But Fiona and Cherry both may be going to a new home. And, Blueberry has gone to a new home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have, don't we have 2 bucks left that are going to a new home? Caramel, and who's the other one? Was Blueberry the only other one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Blueberry and Ace.
Well, mini Rex.
Oh.
Yeah, Blueberry's already gone. Caramel he's looking for a new home. Eden is going to a new home. Cherry may be going to a new home. Not Eden, I said Eden, I meant Fiona.
Oh,
They're
I
both
was
chocolate and I get them confused. Eden ain't going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. She didn't have enough competition. She never won a single leg. But she had a best of variety every single time out in the chocolate variety. And even though sometimes there's a couple times she was the only one in the variety, so naturally she's going to be best of variety. There was other times where there was only 3 or 4, but every single time she took first when she had competition, at least where we have been in the chocolate variety. And be that as it may, regardless of whether she won because of lack of competition or what, the judges' comments were right up there what we wanted to hear. So, and you know, it just makes it extra special knowing that she came from stock and she was bred, born, and raised right here at Crow's Nest Rabbitry. So, finally, something that we appear to have done right in the Mini Rex breed. Now we're going to move on over here. This is also a homegrown doe right here. This is Leah, and Leah just last night or this morning, Leah blessed us with a litter. These guys, I know if you are like me and you've seen as many black rabbits as I have in my lifetime, black is somewhat boring, but if you go to a rabbit show, you'll find out that there's usually a lot of black. Black is pretty competitive on the show table. Not that that's why this happened, I'm working on fur, and so we bred
I don't know.
Elvis to Leah, both of them having a common mama, so we bred, and we're working on fur. Right now, I'm not worried about color, but if these guys will produce the fur that I'm looking for, then we'll worry about turning them blue later on.
Easy.
Easter's over, so we don't have to drop them in a cup of Easter egg dye. We'll have to turn them blue some other way. But for now, these little guys are black, Here's another one. Just born, again, just born last night or this morning. These aren't even a full day old.
Santa.
For those of you that wonder, a lot of times I don't mention, the last video or two that I had put up was filmed back in the winter. Evidently there was some footage on the SD card of the camera that I didn't realize I had never edited and produced. And we're going to be throwing some of that up here in between our present videos. So if you see some with us wearing jackets and stuff like that, and it looks like it's cold out, well, that's because it is. It was probably filmed in the middle of winter, maybe like back before Christmas. But it was still good enough stuff that we thought you might like to see it, even though it's a bit dated. So we're going to put that out there as we can. There's a little one there. I don't think that's a peanut, but it's definitely smaller than the rest of them. But 4 little blacks. Hold them, show them to the camera. Hold them up against you, you're just going to get peed on again. Yeah, there they are. So 4 little youngsters, all black, no otters. I was surprised that Elvis didn't throw us at least one black otter.
He did in this litter.
Yeah, he gave us one black. He threw us one black otter out of Jada's litter.
How bad of you, Elvis?
Okay. Now, just to let you give you a little idea of what's coming up. That's all I have to show you right now in Mini Rex babies. Like I said, we've been losing some litters, folks. A lot of it had to do with crazy weather. Some of it had to do with excellent does just out of the blue doing some stupid stuff. I mean, you know, I don't know what's going on with some of these gals. Delilah never misses a lick, but unfortunately, she's just a little over a year old, and she's getting to that point where she has drawn the short stick, and she will probably, when we need this space, got a couple of does here that have already been cut from the program, but when it comes time and I need another space, Delilah is probably going to be the next brood doe to go. She's a little over a year old. I like to keep them rotating, keep them moving. I don't want to keep them here until somebody that gets them until they're too old to do them any good. And a year old, they've still got a lot of production left for somebody. Not saying I won't keep one older than a year old, but we pretty much got what we need from Delilah so far, or already, and you know, we're just gonna let somebody else work with her in the future. Not saying we're ready to get to move her just yet. She has been rebred, and with an excellent buck that we've just picked up back in February that you haven't seen. We'll be showing him in a future video. Delilah is bred to Sky Blue. These two have babies, so they're open. Morgan right here is bred to Grace Hollows, Texas. You haven't met him yet either. Then Cherry is open. She just missed. We thought she was pregnant. She missed. And then Eden down there, she is due, I believe, on the 6th. So here in a few days, over the weekend, I guess. Mm-hmm. The 6th on the weekend.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Sunday.
Did you post?
So we'll get Sunday babies on out of Eden, hopefully. She's a cranky little rabbit. But haven't we found out that the cranky ones usually make good mamas?
Mm-hmm.
So she just, we had Fiona. She was our chocolate doe that we were keeping, that we had kept. I'm sorry, Fiona, honey, you just won't hold a candle to Eden over here.
Sorry.
And so, you know, you're a beautiful rabbit, but she conforms more to the standard. She's more what we're looking for. So Eden is bred to Sky Blue.
Sky Blue.
Because we're shooting for lilacs, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
Didn't you post that one?
So we've got, now in the next video, I think we're gonna show you. It's not a very big team, but we're gonna show you our Mini Rex show team, and we'll bring that to you probably in a couple of days. Be patient though. If you don't see it in a couple of days, it's coming. Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. But we've got another doe. And we got a doe and a buck to show you, and then we'll bring Eden out and let you get a better look at her. Then we've got Vermont over here, and I think she's open. I don't think she's been bred back. And we need to, and she's had a large enough break. It's probably time we may have to see. She will probably meet Grace Hollows, Texas. I don't know. But anyway, maybe I guess this is all we have for right now. Anybody in the area, if you're looking for, we've got a couple of brokens and a couple of a black, a chocolate out of Delilah here. She's got a broken chocolate doe that's in there with her. We've got, the only thing that I'm keeping out of Delilah's current litter is a lilac buck. And I'm only keeping it long enough to get a better look at it. I want it to grow up a little bit more. I want to get a better look at it because I'm thinking about keeping it to breed to these chocolates and produce more lilac, hopefully. Anyway, I guess that's all we have. We've got bunnies, folks, coming out our ears around here, and we're fixing to have more. If you're interested in our show schedule for the fall, contact me. If you don't want to wait for that to go up on the Facebook page or the website, just send us a message. If you, we usually try to stay within 4 or 5 hours from home. That's where we go to a show. I can tell you we're probably going to be at the Arkansas State Fair in October. We may be over in Tennessee in September. And let me think, November, if nothing changes, we're planning on being in Russellville, Arkansas on November the 10th. New club down there. This is going to be their first open shows, I believe. Just here, I don't know, about a month or so ago, they had a youth show over there, and it was really successful and what have you. So they're going to have a fall show, and we are going to support them and do our very best to show up and see how it goes. Looking forward to it. Okay, this will be their very first open shows. And other than the state fair, I think it's the only fall show in Arkansas so far. So hopefully that works out. I hope to see y'all there. Did we have anything planned for December?
I don't know. I don't think we got that far.
I think the only thing there is in December is there might be something up in Illinois.
I don't know if we got that far. I think we got into September.
Now there's also sometimes we have budget restraints as well. There's 2 shows a week apart. There's one in Illinois that we would like to attend in October, but there's also the state fair the weekend before that. So we will just have to see. These rabbits, they pretty much take care of it. If sales from the rabbits, if the rabbits can't generate enough revenue to go to these shows and what have you, we just don't go. The more revenue they're able to generate, the more shows we go to. Just plain and simple. Our household budgets and what have you just don't provide any more than that. So, looking forward to seeing y'all at a show. If you need a bunny, we're having this ain't about that, but we've had a New Zealand red rabbit explosion around here. And within the next month, I'm going to be deciding for myself what I like the best and what I don't, and everything else that is show worthy is going to be available to somebody else. So if you're interested in New Zealand reds, you might ought to start contacting me now and get your name on a list so I can call you and let you know when something's available, especially if you're wanting a doe, because they usually go first. We got plenty of bucks. We got some nice bucks too. But am I forgetting anything else? Okay, we're going to have to cut this video off because we're going to try to shoot another one real quick. And if I don't get out there, we're going to get wet doing it. So it looks like a storm's coming up. So, Alley Cat, you're slacking on me over here. What are you doing?
Sitting down on the job. That's what she's doing.
Sitting down on the job? Okay. You've been quiet this whole video. Are you going to say something to these fine people?
Thanks for watching.
Guess
God bless, and please subscribe.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Y'all have a great day, and God bless.